You know that person who replays a text message for 3 hours. Maybe they're your friend. Maybe they're you. While everyone else sends a message and moves on, they're still there, rereading it, editing it in their head, wondering if the period at the end sounded cold. And while you might think that's exhausting, there's a chance they've noticed something the rest of us are too busy to see. The brain that won't stop checking is often the brain that cares the most about getting it right. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you made a decision and just let it go? Now, when was the last time a decision followed you home, sat with you at dinner, kept you up past midnight replaying it from 6 different angles? That gap tells you everything. Because somewhere between the decision and the doubt, something happens. Your brain runs this loop. Did I say the right thing? Did they take it the wrong way? What if there was a better option I didn't even consider? There's a psychologist named Susan Nolen-Hoeksema who spent years studying this exact loop. She called it rumination, the mental habit of replaying a problem over and over without ever actually solving it. But here's the thing. Overthinking didn't start as a flaw. It started as protection. Your brain evolved to scan for threats, to replay danger so you'd remember it next time. The problem is, it can't tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and an awkward reply to a group chat. One bad interaction isn't just uncomfortable. It gets filed away like it's life-threatening, permanent. Available for replay at 2 a.m. forever. So people who overthink everything, they're not broken. They're running an alarm system that never learned when to shut off. Research suggests that around 73% of adults between 25 and 35 engage in regular overthinking patterns. And that number sounds alarming, right? Like something's going wrong with an entire generation. But a study published in the journal Personality and Individual Differences found something more specific. It's not the thinking itself that causes the damage. It's the combination of high self-awareness with low certainty. When you're aware enough to notice every possible outcome, but unsure enough that none of them feel safe, your brain doesn't stop at one answer. It keeps generating more. Translation. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's overqualified for the size of the problem in front of it. Think about it. The people who overthink the most are often the ones paying the most attention. They notice the tone shift in a reply, the pause before someone answers, the small inconsistency in a story. They're not anxious for no reason. They're pattern detecting machines. And most of the time, there really is a pattern. The tragedy is the machine doesn't know when to stop running. There's a concept in psychology called the intolerance of uncertainty. It's the idea that some people experience "I don't know" not as a neutral state, but as a threat. And once uncertainty feels dangerous, the brain does what it always does with danger. It keeps working the problem, refusing to file it away as closed. Studies on generalized anxiety have found that this single trait, discomfort with not knowing, predicts overthinking better than almost anything else researchers have measured. Here's what's intriguing. Even when overthinkers logically know they've already made the right call, the loop doesn't stop. Because the loop was never really about finding the right answer. It's about trying to feel certain in a world that doesn't offer certainty. And the more you chase that feeling, the further it runs from you. But here's the paradox nobody talks about. The exact traits that make someone an overthinker, depth, self-awareness, sensitivity to consequence, are the same traits that make them good at the things that matter. Careful friends, thoughtful employees, people who catch the mistake before it becomes a disaster. The very wiring that keeps them up at night is the wiring other people quietly rely on during the day. Researchers have found that people high in what's called reflective thinking often perform better on complex tasks that require weighing multiple outcomes. The same tasks that reward the very thing that costs them sleep. It's not that overthinking is useless. It's that it doesn't know how to turn off once the useful part is finished. So here's what I want you to think about. What if the people who overthink everything aren't stuck? What if they're running the most sophisticated threat detection system evolution ever built, just pointed at a world that mostly isn't dangerous anymore? What if the goal was never to stop thinking, but to teach the alarm system when the building isn't actually on fire? Because at the end of the day, nobody looks back on their life wishing they'd replayed more conversations. But plenty of people wish they'd trusted the first answer they gave. The overthinkers aren't lost in their heads. They're just the ones still looking for the exit, in a room that was unlocked the whole time. And if you want more of these breakdowns, if this hit home for you, subscribe. I genuinely appreciate it.